Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Brewing with Magic. Well, today's deck is all about ripping our opponent's hand completely apart and taking advantage of the game with complementary creatures. But before we get into that, if you'll do me a favor and really quick, hit that subscribe button. It really helps support me, the channel, and get us out to a much bigger audience so we can grow the Brew Crew. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know anytime we put out new content. So, what do we got for you today? It is Mono Black Discard, and the deck is a very, very fun deck. I'm not going to tell you it's tier 1 or tier 2. I think it has potential to get to tier 2. Don't know if it'll see tier 1, but it's a blast to play, and you're going to really want to try it out, especially if you already have all the cards. So let's start off first with our removal package. We have 4 Bloodchief Thirsts, and we have 4 Infernal Grasps. Then we're going to go ahead and go into our early drop creatures. 3 Shambling Ghasts, and 2 of the new Tainted Adversary. I'm sure you've seen plenty of Infernal Grasps going around, but just in case you haven't seen this one, it is a 2/3 for 1 black, 1 colorless. It is a zombie with Death Touch, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 black and 2 colorless any amount of times. Every time you do that, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and creates twice that many 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with decay. So we definitely want to be throwing this early game as a 2-drop, especially with all the creatures on the board coming at you with all these decks that are just rushing at you at the moment, because it can kill anything on the board at all, period. It's a 2/3 for 2. But late game, we get a whole lot of advantage out of it because we can pump into it and just really try to close out the game with all those 2/2 decay tokens. Then we're going to go ahead, and we are a discard deck. So let's get into our discard package. So first off, to go along with our early drop creatures here, we also have 3 copies of Acquisitions Expert. Just helps put a 1/2 body on the board, which is pretty good nowadays because there's a lot of little 1/1 tokens and stuff coming at you, or just a chump blocker, but we're also ripping a card out of their hand. We have 4 copies of Check for Traps. I like this one because you pretty much, as long as it's not a land, you get to take it out of their hand no matter what, and you do lose a life, but that's fine. It's worth what we're doing here. And 4 copies of Go Blank. Not only do you make them discard 2 cards, but then exiling all cards from that player's graveyard is a big deal right now. A lot of people are manipulating their graveyards, and we're eliminating that altogether. No more Blood on the Snow shenanigans or anything like that. And then, how are we taking advantage of all of this hand destruction that we're doing? Well, first off, we have 4 copies of Westgate Regent. I'm sure you've already seen this one. It's the 2 black, 3 colors, 4/4 flying ward. Discard a card. Whenever it hits the opponent, you put that many +1/+1 counters on it. It closes out games super fast. But then we also have 4 copies of a new card with the exact same ward, which is what inspired us to make this deck. Graveyard Trespasser. It's 1 black, 2 colors, human werewolf, 3/3 with ward. Discard a card. Whenever Graveyard Trespasser enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. It is daybound. So first off, a few things there. You're ripping cards out of their graveyard, so once again, if they're trying to manipulate their graveyard with flashback cards, Blood on the Snow, any reoccursion in any way, you're going to be able to exile those cards. And if it's a creature, you're gaining some life, they're losing life, so you're chipping away a little bit at them, but you're also keeping yourself alive against all those aggro decks out there. And then it flips to the backside. It is still ward, discard a card. It is Nightbound now, but instead of exile up to 1 target card, it's exile up to 2 target cards. Everything else is the same. It's so complementary with Westgate Regent. It goes so well in a discard deck. It's such a fun card to play with, especially when it goes off. And then we also have some recursion in the deck. So we have 3 copies of Ebondeath Draconlich. You've seen it before, but just in case you are newer, 2 black, 2 colors for a zombie dragon. It has flash, flying. It enters the battlefield tapped, and then you may cast Ebondeath Draconlich from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebondeath Draconlich died this turn. So it just keeps coming back over and over and over again. Your opponent has to exile it to get rid of it. And then our land base is pretty simple. We have 4 Hive of the Eye Tyrants. That way, if we get board wiped or anything, or if we just need that menace, we can go ahead and still get in. And once again, it's another card that is destroying your opponent's graveyard. So not only are we ripping apart their hand over and over and over again with cards in the deck, but then we're exiling them from the graveyard so they can't bring them back later. We also have 16 Snow-Covered Swamps, 4 Faceless Havens, and 1 Agadium's Awakening. I mean, we have a 5-drop, a 4-drop, a 3-drop, a 2-drop, and a 1-drop in the deck. So we can get a lot of value out of that 1 Agadium's Awakening if we draw it late game. Otherwise, it is an additional land. So I really think you're going to like the deck. Make sure you stick around for the summary. And without further ado, let's go ahead now and get into some gameplay. Hello, now. We'll just go with now. There's a lot going. Let's see. What do we got? Soliloquy. Okay. We have 3 lands. Acquisition Expert. Check for traps. We have our Graveyard Trespasser and Westgate Regent. That's a pretty dang good hand. Lead with a Swamp and pass. Soliloquy guy. Now. So Soliloquy now. I can't do it. The opponent. We're just going with the opponent. They throw down the Chaplain of Alms. Let's throw the Hive so that it's untapped. And this has first strike. But they might be able to pump this next turn. I'm sure we can just go ahead and take one. Let's go ahead and check traps. Let's see what they got in store for us. So yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll get rid of this here. Luminarch Aspirant. And then next turn, they can't really do much unless they drew a 2-drop. And then we can block this. Yeah. We got plans. We got plans. So let's go ahead and throw out another snow-covered swamp. And they're going to be throwing a 1/4 or a 2/2. The 2/2 is going to eat whatever I put out. So I guess we just go with the Acquisitions Expert, which we'll get back again later if we find a removal, because we're going to need to kill that Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar. I mean, that's what I would have did. Okay, hit us for 1, passing the turn. Ooh, okay. So we can throw the Faceless Haven this turn. That way it's not sick later. Next turn we can throw the Westgate Regent. We could make them discard again. I think maybe it's better for us to have a 3/3 out. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and eat their land. Skip it back. Kind of shuts down the Brutal Cathar from attacking, the Chaplain of Alms from attacking. Adeline coming down. Such a good creature. Oh, there's another Faceless Haven. So, I mean, we can go ahead and throw it now. It doesn't hurt. They have 2 cards left in hand. I think we're going Westgate Regent. No attacks. End the turn. They can throw another creature and then come in with Adeline. So there's nothing in our hand really. Yeah, nothing in there we really care about. We'll get rid of their last card either way. Coming on in with the Adeline. We will block the 1/1, take 5, 4, no 5, because the damage wasn't done yet. So we'll throw the Swamp they know about. I can block with the Faceless Haven and take out the Adeline. Or I could just chump block this turn. We'll just chump block this turn. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get... Yeah, that was a much, much, much better decision. We'll swing in with just the Westgate. Next turn, I can just pass turn and... Yeah, they'll block with the 3/1. We don't get counters. That's what they were hoping for there. Oh, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Luminarch Aspirant is a rip. We're still going to chump block, but now... Next turn, I'll have to, like, Faceless Haven and... Yeah, this is not good. We're going to take the chump block here. We're going to block there. Check for traps. No longer needed. We only have, what, 1, 2, 3... 1. Yeah, we can't double Faceless Haven. 1, 2, 3 for 1 Faceless Haven. We don't have enough for that. So we can't, like, double fire up creature lands. We're going to go ahead and get in for 4. Get some tokens on there. Get ourselves an 8/8. End the turn. We go to Night. We get 4/4 now. Not first strike, but a 4/4. Put the token on Adeline, probably. If they attack with Adeline, we might be double blocking. I think I have to. So, the most damage is going to be from the Faceless Haven. We're going to double block that. They can take 1 out. Okay. Or both out. Both out, I meant. Another one! What are the odds? So next turn they hit us for what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we just tap them in the air. We have the Infernal Grasp. So I think I just go ahead and swing in. And let's see. If I don't kill this now, what is it? What do we got? 5 plus the other one is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus the additional is 13. So we're definitely going to want to have to kill that. Let's go ahead and just do that now before they draw anything weird at all. Let's use mana. So I have all my snow. We'll go ahead and do that now. So we go to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, plus another one is 2. We can still block with this. So we'll go ahead and end the turn. Got it. Got it. Oh, man. Woo! Yeah, we got another magic. Psych magic. Hello. We have 4 lands, 2 hives, 2 snow-covered swamps, Blood Chief, Shambling Gas, and Tainted Adversary. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. We'll lead with a hive into a shambling. Just don't know if I want to go with the adversary on 2 or wait a while. I don't know. I guess early game it's in our hand. Then again, we did just get another shambling gas. We'll go with the hive of the Eye Tyrant. I don't know what else they're going to be playing. I think we just go shambling gas and swing. If we lose our ghasts, then we can make a tainted with some 2/2s, get some damage in. Battle Cry Goblin. Very, very good card that I don't think we are going to allow to live at all. And, yeah, we don't need any 2/2s at this point. I want a 2/3 body out there now that I know what's going on. Maybe I should have held back with these in case they have hasters. Nope. Goblins say no. Sup, Duke? Let's see if we can't nuke them. Horrible jokes. So we go first. We have 2 swamps, Blood Chief Thirst, Shambling Gas, Acquisitions Expert, Go Blank, and a Graveyard Trespasser. That's a very, very hard keep. Yes. Obviously, we're going to go turn 1 gas, turn 2 expert. Hopefully we hit land, and we're either going to go blank and or trespasser. It's pretty much on curve and super strong for what we're trying to do. What's up, Duke? Monk of the open hand for Duke. So we'll go with the swamp. We got our other swamp we were looking for. We're just going to keep going. Acquisitions expert. We can take a hit from the monk. It's going to get a little bigger. Most likely it'll only be a 2/2 and they can't swing still because I'll have the shambling gas. So... we will rip a plains out of their hand, I guess, and no attacks, pass it back. Luminarch Aspirant. Well, still only a 2/2. Oh, nope, nope, they put it on itself. Another land. So, this is a weird turn. I either get rid of the Luminarch Aspirant right now with the Blood Chief Thirst and do nothing else with my mana, or we kill it next turn. It's going to get something else bigger. I think next turn I go blank. I give them one more turn. They could Elite Spellbinder. I'm like, what do I do here? If I want to Elite Spell... if they're going to Elite Spellbinder, do I want to make sure I get rid of more cards from their hand right now or have a creature on board? It's just so many different choices. We're going to go ahead and go with the Trespasser as the route we want to go. And we will hold back everything and just really hope they don't have Elite Spellbinder, because I really want to cast the Blood Chief Thirst and the Go Blank next turn. Okay, if they double spell here... that's not the double spell I really wanted to see, not going to lie. But we will be Blood Chief Thirsting the big Luminarch Aspirant. Yeah, I need another removal and soon. Okay, Westgate Regent isn't horrible. We're going to go ahead and, like I said, go blank. Actually, I should have Blood Chief Thirst first just to have the cards in the graveyard. We'll go ahead and get rid of one of the Luminarch Aspirants. And... No attacks, end the turn. They throw land, we go to Nightbound. No. Oh. Duke's coming in with a 5-4. No, Duke passes. Well, we have no other choice but to throw another Graveyard Trespasser. We'll eat that Luminarch Aspirant. And no attacks in the turn. We want them to throw a land. There we go. Now they're going to just keep pumping the Usher. Okay. Come on in. Okay. We're just looking for a removal spell right now. Coming in for 7. Create a 1/1. We're going to go ahead and chump block it. And kill one of these Luminarch Aspirants. Yeah, I'd rather that than this on the board because we're going to get land eventually. There it is. There it is. Now we got some 4/4s. We got a Westgate Regent. We're bigger in the air. We're going to attack with both of these. Eat that Luminarch. Oop. Eat that Luminarch Aspirant. Hold on. Don't they only have one in there, right? Yeah. And then let's eat our Shambling Gasp. That way we gain more life. They take it all down to 9. We have a lot of life. A lot of life. Skyclave, Apparition, they can't target any of our good creatures. Dude, you know what you just did. That's what the deck does. Yes. Yes. Okay, they're coming in for a lot. We'll go ahead and block the 7/6. One blocker. We go down to 19. It's another land for our hand. So what's their crackback? They've got not enough. I was going to do the math. We were swinging with everything. Yes. Yes. Relics. Relics. I like it. Opponent goes first. We have a Hive and a Faceless, so 2 lands. We have a Bloodchief, Gas, check for traps, Trespasser, and a Westgate Regent. So 1 more land. We can cast almost everything in our hand, and then we have our game closer in our hand as well. So we just need to draw at least 1 more land, a couple lands throughout the next few turns. I'll take a Hive Tyrant for turn 2. Hive into Hive. We're not going to be operating that Faceless Haven anytime soon. Operating. Now we're driving a Faceless Haven. Bloodchief Thirst on the Shambling Ghast. Okay. We will gladly accept a removal spell from your hand in that manner. Throw the other Hive out. I could Trespass, but they're just probably going to remove it. Let's go ahead and check out their hand. And the next turn we can go blank. Lolth, Plum, Meat Hook. Let's go ahead and get rid of... I mean, it's definitely Lolth. I was just curious what else I thought it might be.
I am merely delayed, not
They're going to throw a land for sure here. Not sure what they drew, if they can even cast it. They throw the Meat Hook out with nothing on the board. Let's go ahead and just make them go blank now. Let's go ahead and just wipe out 2 of their 3 cards. Now, if they draw or play a land, we'll go Graveyard Trespasser because they won't have enough. Okay, Hunt for Specimen. Yeah, they don't have enough cards to remove this from the board now. So, I mean, next turn they can if they... Yeah. So, anyways, what we're going to do... So they just lose their whole hand if we go blank now. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We have plenty of time. We don't care. We can take 1 damage for a minute. We'll just take it. I'm not going to use my Bloodchief Thirst on that. There's the land. There we go. We're going Westgate. We're going Westgate right away. Right away. End the turn. They cannot hurt this card. They cannot do it. Now they're locked out. The deck is run perfectly. Let's go ahead and just get the Trespasser out there. We'll go ahead and eat Shambling Gas. The opponent's dead. This is how you eat up a Golgari deck. We absolutely destroyed our opponent. Okay, they do have a Shatter, a Soul Shatter. That's pretty dang good. Not gonna lie. I like it. Okay, maybe they come back into this. We'll see. Okay, well, we're going turbo mode now. So I'm going to waste that Blood Chief Thirst on that right there. Yep, they get some triggers off of that. We're going to go ahead now and fire up the Faceless Haven and swing in. We'll eat your Soul Shatter. Hit them. And I think we saved this in case they... 4, 5... we just save it. Skeletal Swarm. Okay, I don't mind that at the moment. Check for traps isn't going to do it. Let's go ahead and fire up the Faceless. What's in their graveyard? Nothing, so it doesn't matter. Let's hit them for as much as we can. Fire up the Faceless Haven. Go ahead and swing on in. Let's eat our very own OS Gate. Let's gain some life. Down to 2. So having a 1-drop out doesn't win the game if they somehow do anything crazy. So we'll just end the turn once again. Does become night. If that's a land, it's game over. They can't target this either way. Oh, they plumb. So they're going to get 2. They get 2 cards, which is super strong. And they get 2 1s, but they'll be tapped. Oh, and now they kill themselves. Ben Paco. We go first. We have 3 lands, 2 are hives, 1 snow-covered swamp, 2 acquisitions, Infernal Grasp, and a graveyard trespasser. So we got some good little plays here. We're gonna hold on to this. Let's see if we can't make this a Ben Paco-lips. We'll throw the hive, pass it back. Another hive. Acquisitions. Are they mono green? Let's find out. What do they show us? They're not mono green, and they do not need more land. Ranger class coming down. Okay. We will throw out a snow-covered swamp into... Let's do a trespasser. Go ahead and eat that swamp or mountain for no reason whatsoever. No attacks, end the turn. What do they got for 3? It's a naturalist. Okay. Coming in with that wolf. Blizzard Brawl. You are going to be discarding a card. Okay. Pretty solid. No blocks. Throw out a Faceless Haven here. And we'll go Acquisitions Expert. Another land. I wonder what that last card is in their hand. We're not going to let them attack with this in case they need a 4th land. But we will go ahead and end the turn. Okay, they're going to fire up Ranger class. That resolves. So I'm not too afraid of 2 lands, so I'm going to let them... I want to see what they... I want them to put it on the naturalist, to be honest with you. I think that's a smart player right there. Because now I have to pick what I kill. And you know it's going to be the naturalist. So I wonder if that is a Snakeskin Veil. I really do. We'll go ahead and throw this. We're going to go ahead and throw the Westgate Regent. Now all I have to do is no attack. I have to just start chump blocking. Plus next turn I'll have Tainted Adversary, which will have Death Touch. I mean, if they have another Blizzard Brawl in their hand, wow, good. I mean, that's hard to beat. Fearless Pup, well, now it doesn't matter. They would have had to have done that first. Level that up. Coming in for 3. Put a token on it. So, I will chump block that. Land it is. Let's go ahead and throw this here Tainted Adversary. And we will auto pay. And we will attack for 4 in the air. Is this the Benpocalypse? Did I do it? Oh, they're just coming in with the Fearless Pup, huh? Interesting. Okay. Little Fearless Pup for 3. So 3/4. So it kills it. Well, it has first strike. It has first strike. So, but that would be their whole turn, right? So if they want to take their whole turn off on this, we hit them for 8 in the air. Next turn, or I just take the 5 this turn, and next turn we swing in. I think we just slow play. Let them take the whole turn off pumping. If they want to take that whole turn, yeah. I'm like, there you go. There you go. That's for you. And we just went to night. So let's go ahead and throw out that. We go ahead and... there's no point in not swinging with all these, because we're going to win in the air with this, and then one of these will die, and the other one... They have to attack, so we go in with everything. And we have blockers in the means of lands. I wasn't going to win 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with the Menace. Wasn't going to win this turn. They didn't want to lose their other wolf. So what do they got here? They've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are both fired up, right? So I'm going to have to block their biggest thing. We'll probably do it with the Faceless Haven because I like the option of having Menace. I mean, we're 16-16 in the air. I don't know how they stop that. It becomes night until end of turn. Yeah. So that happens. It's already night. We'll go ahead and fire up our Faceless Haven. That resolves. That resolves. Nope, we're already... We'll block the 4/3. I mean, I could have just blocked with this, right? So, but let's just block here. Let's make sure they don't have anything crazy going on. I think we're pretty safe. Ugh. I don't think green can stop that. There we go. We'll go ahead and just swing on in for 16. Good game. Okay, Brew Crew, that is going to do it for Mono Black Discard, and I have a blast with this kind of deck. I used to play a deck way a long time ago with a bunch of cards like Hypnotic Spectre and Hymn to Torox. You can look them up. They're vicious hand destruction cards. It was so much fun, and this gives me those same kind of joys as back then. It's a very fun archetype for me, and it's kind of a passion project. I want to make this better. I don't think it's quite tier 2 yet. I think we can get it to tier 2, and I need your help. I want you to please try this deck out. If you own all these cards, or if you have enough wild cards to where it just doesn't matter, I am calling you, Brew Crew, into action and try this deck out for me because I just love it so much. Leave me a comment down below letting me know exactly what you thought of it, what we could do to change it. Can we get this to tier 2? It's so much fun. But I did mention wild cards. Let's talk about those real quick in case you do think about crafting some. Tainted Adversary, I think, is a pretty safe craft right now. I've seen it in a lot of different decks. That could change. So at the moment, I feel like only crafting 2 if you are wildcard heavy is okay to do. Uncommons and commons aren't an issue at all. Westgate Regent. If you don't own these, crafting 4 of these might not be the thing to do. As much as I want some feedback and I'd like you to try out the deck, be careful crafting that one. It only goes in so many decks. Same thing, I think, with Graveyard Trespasser, even though this may see some play later on just because of the fact that it does have that ward ability. It's a good cost, and it does rip cards out of your opponent's graveyard. That might be a thing later. I still think at the moment, be careful if you don't have a lot of wild cards or don't already own those, crafting those. Ebon Death Dracon Lich I've seen in quite a few decks now. I think it's a pretty safe craft. I wouldn't craft more than 2 if you don't own any. Don't craft 3 or 4 of them for sure. So if you only own 2 or if you have to craft all of them at the moment, just do 2, put a different card in the deck, and then land is always safe. But I'm really excited to hear from you, the Brew Crew, or anybody else who's just watching, what you have to say about this deck and how we can fix it up. I think we can find some better synergies maybe than the Tainted Adversary, maybe even the Shambling Ghast, and even the Ebon Death. I think these could all be replaced with something better. At the moment, though, I like them, and I can't wait to hear what you say. So if you like this video or any other videos that we're putting out, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. It means a whole lot to me, supports me, the channel, gets us out to a much bigger audience. Definitely hit that notification bell so that you also know when we put out new content. And as always, until next time, have a blast in the arena.